Today's the 2nd. Hi everyone, welcome to Kats Creations live on a Friday night. Welcome to October 2nd, the year 2020. So tonight, as promised, we're going to be making the couple different names you can call it. Country Christmas Candle Wreath, Primitive Rustic, Candle Wreath, whatever. But we're going to make it very rustic, very primitive, kind of like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a time period like 1800s or whatever where they put candles in their decor for the holidays.
Like 1910s.
Something like that. Late 1800s, early 1900s. So we're going to be using, and I just sent this out 30 minutes before we went live, we're going to be using these 6.5-inch battery operated with a timer tapered candle. So, and I meant to grab something dark to show you what this all looked like at the very beginning, but hopefully you guys can see it. If I use my apron, that if you turn it on, it flickers. It just kind of does this little thing. So it's really cool. So you just lightly twist the bottom to turn it on, and then to turn it off, you just, it's not even like just barely, you do the twist to turn it off. So this comes with an 8-hour timer, 8 hours on, 16 hours off. So if they leave it on, it'll automatically turn itself off in 16 hours. I am selling these on my Etsy shop in pairs of 2. I only have 3 sets. I had 4, but one sold just a little while ago. So if you want them, let me know. Go to the Etsy shop and pick them up. Once they're gone, they're gone. That's all I have. So we're going to be using one in our wreath today. We're going to be doing it on a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame, and I'll get to the rest of the materials when we're there. Let me go through some quick housekeeping. If you want to be notified when I go live, make sure you click the like and follow button at the bottom of this Facebook page. That way if we do some impromptu lives, you'll be the first that's notified when we are going live. If you like this design, and once you get all your materials and you want to put one together, go ahead and click the share button, and then that way it'll share it to your page, where it's much easier to find than on my page. YouTube subscribers, this is a Facebook Live from Friday, October 2nd, so if you're catching this, it's a replay, so we're not actually live on YouTube. However, you can still comment. I go through and I answer all your questions. Don't forget to click the little subscription bell in the upper right hand corner to subscribe to my page so you're notified when we post new videos. Let me double check last minute stuff. Also for YouTube subscribers, all the vendors of where I got everything from will be in the description box below, and also the link for the Etsy shop if you want to head over to there. If you're new, let us know. We'd like to welcome you, and hopefully you'll find a fellow crafting person here on our Facebook Live. So before I get started, do we have anyone joining us? As I put my list away.
Yep. Jennifer Farr, Terry Waters, Debbie, Nancy, Darlene, Renee, Jean, Maria, Rose, Mary, Kathy Nonclerg, Barbara, Susie, Lynn, Jennifer. I know you've been talking to Lynn back and forth the last couple days, right? Jan, Gail, and a lot of other gals. So happy Friday, everyone.
So welcome. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to finish wiring together our 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. So if you cannot find these at your local Dollar Tree, go online. You can pick these up online. The item number is 205297, and then you can order them by the case. Right now it's $36 to a case, but that should be enough to get you through at least 36 designs. So we're going to go ahead and wire together the last of the 6 sections. So these are all wired exactly the same. So you're going to take your pipe cleaner. Before you do that, whenever you're starting on any work frame, because I was looking at other tips that I had done before, just go around each section and give a gentle squeeze on it. What that does is sometimes when the rings are placed together, they don't end on a weld. They end in the middle, and sometimes you'll get a weld in the center that doesn't quite seal all the way. The last thing you want to do is get all the way through your entire design and find out that you have a broken weld in the center and you have to take everything off. So do that as a preventative in anything. Even on your work frame wreaths, just give it a once over even before you leave the store or when you get it, just to make sure everything is good before you start. So on here, we're just going to simply take our pipe cleaner, using these as our center guides. We're going to take a pipe cleaner and put it right in between those two weld marks, and that'll help give it some stability. And then you're going to use this one as a guide plus the weld on your right side, and you're going to wire together the outer two. And then you're going to go over and do the same thing on the opposite side using this and the weld section on the left hand side, and then go ahead and do your twists. And then it's all wired, it's ready for you to go. Now this design is different because remember when I was talking, I don't know, it was 2 days ago when I did the country Christmas wreath, I said the imperative thing about the Christmas candle wreath is you have to have an opening in the middle. So you cannot pile your deco mesh the way that we normally do and really fill that center, because then your candle is not the centerpiece. So this one is going to be done in 2 different sizes. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 10.5 inch deco mesh, which is from Hobby Lobby. It's the moss green in town. You guys know I love it. And we're just going to take 20-inch pieces, and we're just going to do the 12 on the outside in ruffles. And then we're doing something different to the 6 on the inside. So a little bit of difference. So these are already done. Like I was playing with the design. First I was going to go with tan, and then I decided, you know what, I really wanted to elevate this one this year, this particular design. So we're going to go the sage and tan. So we're just going to give it a couple twists. So you'll see I have 2 different piles of deco mesh because they're cut totally different. So do you guys have any questions about how to wire this and what I'm doing right now? I'm just going around just the outside 12, leaving the 6 on the inside alone. I'm super excited to see how this one comes out too. I never know, because I haven't built it until we're building it here.
And really quick, Diane Abel said, "Hi everyone, I'm one of the new kids in the group from Coyote Flats, Texas." So welcome, Diane.
Welcome.
And then we also have a Kimberly Speckhalls or Speckhalls. Hello, first time catching you on Facebook Live. Just joined your private group from Bellevue, NE. So
Nebraska.
Nebraska, yep.
Yes. Right? Yes, I think it's Nebraska. Should be.
Should be, yeah.
Yeah, because NH is New Hampshire. And then all the other news have their own.
If you guys are experiencing issues on Facebook, which we have had lately, just try to log out and log back in.
What's going on?
Oh, somebody says Facebook is so messed up. You have no pick on my end and static noise.
Yeah. So, just usually when you start to experience issues within Facebook, they're going through some update, and what the update will be, we will never know until it launches. And then everything stays calm for a while doing Facebook Live. So you're kind of at the mercy.
And the mesh is cut to 20 inches.
For the 12 on the outside.
For the 12 on the outside, yeah.
Yes. I want to be very specific about that. So I don't want people to think, oh, I just cut all 18 pieces 20 inches. No, just 12 at 20. So we shall see. I hear Giles. He's meowing all the way in the other room. So this should go fairly quickly. no sign, just a single bow.
I'm gonna go ahead and pan down.
So Steve's gonna pan down a little bit for you guys.
And we're gonna leave it down.
We're leaving it down. Yes, something new. And remember the candle, while it's still filling the center, you'll see, it'll still have room for the candle to be the showpiece. I swear I've done this before. And if you saw the sneak peek I posted earlier, it doesn't mean that the whole center is going to be wide open. It just means it's framed by the Deco mesh. Kind of give it that primitive feel. And so I'm laying my Ruffles finished edges to the inside and the outside, so straight up and down. That way it helps keep the frame to a minimum.
Judy, no, she had to use the regular fabric cutters for this because it's
rotary cutter.
The rotary cutter, because you can't use the wood burning tool for this because it's got the jute fabric in it. Yeah. Yeah.
Anytime you're working with the natural fibers like this has that imitation burlap in it, you have to use the rotary cutter. Otherwise, you'll just burn and smoke your mesh. It won't even cut it. It just sits there and starts to smoke. And then it smells like a true wood burning. Okay. Flipping. 3 more pieces to go, and then we're on our inside ones. So this method, the ruffle, the scrunch, the bow tie, is probably the easiest for a new wreath maker to master. It's the very first technique because there's not an awful lot to it. It's just pulling it towards you, gathering it, and then putting it onto your form. So our opening is staying open. Where we would have the issue is if we were adding the 6 to the inside right now, that 6 would take up 5 full inches on the inside. So that's why we don't want to put it there just yet. And last one. So much nicer when I get everything done, because then I can move things around. Otherwise, my Deco mesh rolls roll right off the front or the back of my counter. Okay. So here's our last piece. Okay. So this is what you get. And I've been asked in the past, can you just leave it like this and not add the 6 on the inside? It would depend on the,
I can't.
Well, because I do it so that you can see light through.
Gotcha.
It would depend on how the quality of your Deco mesh, how thin it is, how thick it is. This one, I think I would still probably do the 6 on the inside just to kind of make sure everything is well covered. But it's entirely up to you as the designer. It's up to you. You can just stop at 12 and be done. Maybe you want to go 25 inches on the 12 to give it some extra, or even 30 to give it some extra mesh to cover the frame. Either way works. We are going to be taking the 10-inch Deco mesh now, and we cut it down to 10-inch pieces. And this one is where it changes things a lot. So, finding our pipe cleaner in the center, we're still going to ruffle. But this time, it goes against everything I've ever told you to do. So we're going to turn it sideways because we don't want that to impact the center space. We just need this to give it some extra coverage on the outside. So I'm doing it sideways like an actual bow tie to the centers. And then I'm just going to kind of cover that. So as you see, I'm not adding any depth by placing my Deco mesh on the inside. So again, down here, we're just kind of defining that frame.
And we have a Teresa Fox from Ireland.
Welcome.
Hi, Teresa.
Thank you
welcome.
for joining us.
It's got to be super late.
What time is it in Ireland right now? I don't know. You might be surprised.
It's got to be like one.
Remember, not everything is as it seems.
It's got to be like 1:15, I think.
What are you
Yes,
doing?
it said 1:15 a.m. there.
Wow. You're an international time traveler, Steve.
Well, welcome.
Welcome, friend. Thank you for joining us. I think you'll love this design. It's very rustic, very country. And this is the hard to find deco mesh from Hobby Lobby. This is their new deco mesh this year, which has been sold out in their stores and even online. So if you happen to go into Hobby Lobby this week, because their deco mesh in the non-seasonal side, that's where you'll find this, is half off. So if you find it, it's only going to be $5 for the roll. And you'll only need one roll to finish this design. So I don't know when Hobby Lobby's getting it back. I've been checking mine every time I go, and they never have any. So it's just finding them in those out of the way Hobby Lobbies, maybe where not too many people would go.
Yeah, it's awesome seeing where people are watching from.
I love that. This is so cool.
Yep.
Okay. Here's my other one. I almost passed it up. So what I try to do is take the ones on the side and kind of just open that up so that I can put this right in the center. So all I've just done is push the two at the bottom to the side so that I can get this in.
We have a Johnny Tyndale, said first time from Texas, so welcome, Johnny.
Thank you for joining us. And then we're here. So again, that's the middle, so just separate it. And then here's where that's going to go. Just two more.
Oh, that's a good tip, Deborah. She said if you can't find this mesh, Old Time Pottery also has it.
Really?
If you have an Old Time Pottery store near you. Yep.
I don't know, does Old Time Pottery sell online? I didn't think they did. And once again, Old Time Pottery is East Coast.
Yeah.
So us people here on the West Coast, we can't take advantage of that. Okay, last one. So all this is doing is just giving us that final coverage. Because I even had to go back and watch my video because I didn't remember how.
The 6 on the inside are cut to
10. These are 10-inch pieces.
Gotcha.
Yep. Because we don't want, and
Right.
they're turned sideways. Because we don't need them to add anything to the center. They're just to the outside. Just like so. Just like so. Ta-da! There we go. That's what it looks like. So plenty of space in the center, okay? So here's the thing with the candle, because everyone's like, oh my God, how do you mount the candle? Because you have to be able to untwist it like so to change your batteries. You cannot, you know, affix this permanently to the bottom, because this, how you twist it, number one, you need to be able to take the whole thing off to change batteries, but you have to do that light twist to turn it on and then to turn it off. So you need something to support the weight of your candle and keep it upright in your wreath. So Steve devised this last year. I know it's really highly technical. You're going to get a 3/4 inch, right? Is that what this is?
3/4 inch couple.
That's what I thought.
PVC coupler.
Just wanted to make sure. 3/4 inch PVC coupler. You're gonna want to take a small little saw blade and you're gonna want to cut a notch in this, and I'll show you on something that doesn't have the frame on it.
On both sides, yeah.
On both sides. So I don't know if you guys can see that. It's just, he has it cut in there just past the little I don't know what it is. There's like a little raised lip in there. It needs to go a little bit further because it needs to sit down on the frame. In addition, on the opposite sides are 2 small holes. Here's the reason why. When we first did this, we thought, okay, great. You pop this in there, you hot glue it onto the frame, it creates a little opening, you slide the candle in, boom, you're good, right? Until we actually started playing with it, waited for the glue to dry, and then found out it'll actually do this. So it will roll completely because there's nothing stopping the roll from happening. Even if you take a pipe cleaner and pipe cleaner it down to the rails. So what you have to do is you have to take this, you have to put it on a cross member. And then what you're gonna do, I'm gonna try to explain this to you the best way possible. Where you have your hole, you're going to kind of just tilt it ever so slightly so that it's not directly on the weld mark, because this is where you're gonna have to take, I use 22 gauge floral wire, and I'm gonna wire it. So the way...
Broadcast interruption.
No.
Yep.
No.
So, hold on. Let's see if it comes back. That was only 20 minutes.
I know. It's Facebook. No. Is it coming back? Look at your...
Yeah, it looks like it's coming back.
Are you guys there?
It's still live, so yeah, it's coming back.
Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you guys are good?
We're back.
It's not frozen?
We're back.
I'm like really tired of having to do that because it's such time consuming to splice the videos.
Yep.
Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your wire and you're going to go crosswise on the frame. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring it up under one side, completely on the other, come up through the hole, and then you're going to twist it. And then on the back side, you're going to do the same thing, but opposite. And what that does is it prevents the coupler from, it still has some movement here, but it's going to stop when it hits the frame. So by wiring it in to the front and the back prevents any movement tilting to the front or back. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so have your husband or your kids, you know, see if they can help you and put the notch in the coupler and cut it, and then the next section that she's going to talk about the little PVC piece.
This, and then you're just going to need a 3/4 inch piece, right? Is this 3/4 inch?
Yep.
3/4 inch piece of PVC, and it's cut to a 1/2 inch.
Broadcasting real good.
We'll wait and see. Do you come back or not?
Yeah, we'll wait.
So I'm hoping that this is going to remedy itself. Let me know when the freezing is unfrozen.
It's trying to catch up now.
Okay, so I'm going to keep moving forward. So 3/4 inch piece of PVC pipe, which are really inexpensive to get at Lowe's. You can even buy them in small little sections and save yourself, it's like under $1. And then it's a 1/2 inch, so you're going to cut it a 1/2 inch. And what this does is if we were to put the candle through, it's too big. The candle's gonna wobble and fall out. So we need something without gluing this down to prevent this from falling all the way through and doing this, because nobody wants a lopsided candle in the middle of the wreath. So by putting the little PVC piece in the center, when we put our candle in, our candle stands straight up. High tech, huh? Broadcast interruption still?
No, we're doing okay.
Okay, so what I am going to do is I'm going to attach this because I need to glue this, and then we'll go ahead and embellish the outside. The last thing we'll do is we'll add our candle and make sure everything is good. But do you guys kind of have an idea of exactly what I explained that we're doing? Do you guys have any questions? This coupler is 1 inch, so it's 1 inch wide, and then the cut is probably maybe about halfway up, and then the holes are going to be between the lines, and the holes are just for you to wire that onto the frame.
Do you want me to try to get a close-up of that?
Can you guys see?
So there's the hole.
Yeah, there's the slat, and then there's a hole. So if you look, it's
slats on two sides and holes on the opposite two sides.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, ta-da, we're gonna put it in here. So we've got to find our cross beam. Easiest way to do that is to flip it over, and I'm going to use it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. Can you kind of pan to where they can see?
Mm-hmm.
So see right now, there's nothing keeping it. It just a little wobble all over there. So that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and pull off my wire. This is 22 gauge floral wire. I like the thicker wire because it's just easier to manipulate. You can use a pipe cleaner, you just have to make your hole a little bit bigger. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of bend this into a C shape. Why? Because once I go underneath the wire, so I'm actually going to go underneath here, and I'm going to bring this up through the hole that's facing me. So it goes on the bracket, and I'm going to bring that through, just like so. And the first piece will kind of wobble because it just doesn't have anything supporting the backside. So you'll see me attempt to do this. Let me make sure that works. So I've got that one done. So I'm going to flip it over to the other side because right now it'll still flop because there's nothing on the front side keeping it there until I add this one. And then it basically just makes a little crisscross and keeps it from moving along.
It's going in and out again.
Okay, well, I don't know what to say.
Yep, no, broadcast interrupted.
Another one?
Yep. Terrible.
I know, right? I wish Facebook would just stop. That's okay. I'm trying to get this through my little hole, the hardest part of the whole design, right? Okay. Go under. Is it still broadcast
Well,
interrupted?
people say no problem with the video in Pennsylvania. I've got broadcast interrupted on my end.
Huh.
You're not frozen on the Meebo side.
Well, you wouldn't be on the Meebo side because the Meebo just records what it sees.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull this up and guide it into.
This is live.
We shall see.
Okay.
The last part is just the hardest part, trying to get this piece in and around because we've created some stability on the opposite side. So let me see. Let me go under to my frame, make sure it's on my piece. And it's funny because the minute you add your secondary piece, the entire thing stabilizes. It's weird.
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
You could definitely put the couple on first. She's just showing you how to put it on basically. But yeah, if she were to do this without the live, she would put the coupler on first and then put all the Deco mesh on around it and then be done with it.
Yeah, it'd be a little challenging.
Barbara, no, the coupler is a 3/4 inch PVC, just a pipe coupler that I cut in half, and then I used a handsaw and cut slats on the two sides, opposite sides, and then I drilled 2 holes on each opposite side of that.
Okay.
So hopefully we zoomed in close enough so you could see it, and you could have somebody help you do it.
I'm just going back. I'm just trying to reinforce the one that I had on the other side. I kind of missed my center crossbar when I put it on there. So I'm just correcting that. Okay. So funny, once you bend your wire, it's so hard.
And if you need to, you could use a little pair of needle nose to really
twist it
twist
on
the
there.
wire down. That'd be a good idea.
That's why I have them.
Mm-hmm.
So much easier for guys to do this, because normally like I would just go to Steve and go, hey, can you do this for me? I need this to be super, super tight. Okay, so this is not moving at all. There is no movement in this at all. It is solid. So what I'm gonna do is just trim off the excess wire. And I'm going to take this and move it in.
Karen said you should make and sell that piece.
Right? It'd only be for the people who are like, you want to put a candle in here, here's how you do it. I would just feel horrible doing that because it's really nothing at all to do that. So let me take this off. And then I'll just twist this on a little bit more. Twist, twist, twist.
So how many sets of candles are you going to sell?
There's only 4.
4?
And I've already sold 1. So right before we started it, I sold 1. So there is 3 sets. Maybe we should just put the piece in the box.
I'll tell you, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm
We'll
gonna,
put the piece in the box for you guys.
I'll get the couplers and I'll get the pieces and I'll cut the slats and the holes and I'll
Win-win.
I'll send them in with them. I think I need a couple more couplers, but that's not a big deal. There's like 90 cents a piece.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, so what you kind of don't see is when our mesh is up, it's actually going to cover the box. So when I put this in, and then this goes in, voila, our candle stays where it's supposed to, just like that. So no wobble. I mean, this is wobbling because I don't have the piece stuck all the way in the bottom of my PVC.
Yep.
So it's just doing this inside the little PVC piece.
You
Pushed
could glue that to the bottom.
You can, but like I said, you just have to be careful because you want to make sure everything remains open. So this is where I'm going to take my glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right on the PVC, right where it attaches to the frame. There's no harm in doing that. And then on the inside and inside. And then we're good. So we're all set. Now we can actually embellish the front. Do you guys have any questions at all? So yeah, see, that was a great idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. So yeah, if you want the candles, they're on my Etsy shop. Okay, ready to embellish, right? Because we need this to look very primitive looking. So I'm going to flip this over, just like so. And now we're going to embellish. So knowing that our candle is here, I need to look at, I think I have 2 pipe cleaners on either side of that candle. So this is where I'm going to, the bow's going to go kind of in the center. And then what we're going to do is, I'm trying to find one that's full. So we're going to kind of take one of these picks. So there's going to be a pick that goes here. And they have to be fluffed, but you guys can kind of get the gist. So they're gonna kind of go like this. Let's see if this will kind of stay. I don't want to put it in there right now because I'm afraid the glue will glue that in. But okay, let me flip this around. So can you pan down? So that if I tentatively just kind of give you a kind of visual where I'm going with this. Okay. So that'll be there, and then we're going to embellish the outside with ribbons. Anything that looks primitive, we're going to add pine cones, we're going to add more pit berries, and what have you. And then right in here, not quite so far, there'll be a bow that basically kind of centers the candle and centers that pick. So hopefully you guys will get that. So to remind myself, do not use these, I am twisting my pipe cleaners together as an indicator that that is the center of my wreath. So I can go ahead and embellish the outside with everything else. Everything else meaning, except for the two, we have pipe cleaners on the outside, which we're going to do some tails, and then we're going to put our pine branches, pine cones, and pit berries in. So these are cut to 13-inch pieces, same color combination that you guys remember from the Country Christmas. This is a burgundy canvas, which came from Craft Outlet, and this Merry Christmas primitive script actually came from the same company that I got the picks, the candles, and some other stuff from. Here's the reason why it's kind of not advantageous to shop with them, and I'm not trying to dissuade you at all. Your first order, it's Country House Collection, so your first order with them, number one, you have to be a wholesaler. If you're not a wholesaler, you can't shop there. You can't even see the prices unless you are you filled out the application and then they've approved you. Your first order has to be a minimum of $250, and when you order stuff like, oh, pretty candle, I want to order candle, you can't just order one. You have to order them in whatever base quantity amount it is. So on the candles, you have to order 12 of each candle. Same thing with the picks, you had to order 12. So, and then there is no free shipping. So it can get a little on the pricey side. It just depends on if you're really big in the primitive, that might be the way to go if that's the direction you want to take your business. Those are just my FYIs. So wholesaler, minimum $250 order. You have to buy them in whatever quantities things are sold in. Sometimes that's 24 or 36. Like even the ribbon, I had to buy this in ribbon quantities of 12. So, and it wasn't, I think this was on clearance, but we're gonna go ahead and use this for the first time ever. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this where the green is, and I'm going to put the beige. I'm trying to look for, where did I start? Here it is. So we're skipping, we're doing this for beige, and then that's going to be green. Isn't that what I said?
I think so.
Now let's put this, sorry. I'm going to put this where the green is. So this will go here. And I don't have everything all cut out as far as quantities, because I wasn't sure what I would like. These are cut to 13-inch pieces, so it should be enough to frame the outside. So this is going to kind of be a build on without having any real prior knowledge of what the end product's going to look like. So this will kind of make it very festive, very Christmassy. What questions do you guys have that I can answer for you? So you're gonna have to remember that you have to put 2 in every box, because there's 2 candles per box. So you need to put in 2 couplers and 2 holders. It's so funny, it's almost like this needs to be just
Judy Ingle said you couldn't find the candles. I don't think you put them on yet, have you?
Yes, they are.
Oh.
Just look under battery operated. Battery operated.
They're in your Etsy shop though, right?
Yeah.
So you should be able to find it in KatsCreationsNMore in her Etsy shop.
I don't think they've sold out that quick.
I did see that somebody bought another pair, I think.
Let's see. Yeah, and their shipping times are not quick. I just got my patriotic stuff in right now. which is great for next year. So, okay. What do you guys think of the color combinations for this? I tried to not go too much like what we just did on the other one, trying to keep this one a little bit more rustic. And then we have to be really careful what we do to the inside, because that's going to impact that candle. So you can't just have big huge ribbon tails in there, because we got to keep the gap open.
Hi Lourdes. Lourdes is on.
We're making country Christmas candle wreath.
Janice says your hair is really cute like that.
This is my slop hairdo. I know it sounds so crazy. It's like, this is called, Cat gets up in the morning and just goes twist, 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 clip, and it's done.
Gail said they're sold out, so maybe they sold out already.
Wow, that was quick.
Gail, yeah, this is a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame.
But I think the finished product ends up being 26 inches. I think that's what I had it from last year. It is 26.
Yeah, I think we still fit it in a 24-inch box.
Oh yeah, it'll still fit in a 24-inch box, but you have the pine pick at the bottom with the metal bells and the berries and everything on it, so that's going to take up some space. So we'll have to cut more ribbon. First, for some reason, I just thought I only needed to cut 8. Oh, wait. 1. Let me make sure. I just need 1 more, because these are my ones that I twisted, so I just need 1 more. For once, I tried not to pre-cut, you know, if I wasn't 100% sure where this would be. But I wanted to use this ribbon for the longest time, and it just seemed like every design just didn't allow for me to use it. Till now.
Looks like a small glitch again.
Again?
Yep.
Man, I'm wondering. They need to stop. They really need to stop. Okay, pound this one out. And pound this out. Okay.
And so, yeah, I think that's sold out already. I bought mine at the very beginning.
That was quick. Okay, so far this is, here's our center, so this is the outside. So now I'm going to go in. I'm not going to worry about the 6 interior, I'm just going to focus on the outside where I want pine cones, where I want some pit berries. The interesting thing about this, and it's going to kind of change a little bit too on the inside, is we're doing what's called full bows this time. So I have the 1.5" strip, and this is cut to, I think it's 25 inches. So if you take this, and I think, I'm trying to remember how I did this. If you do 6 inches, I'm trying to remember how I did this. I think I just free-handed it, and then I came back, and I was like, oh, that looks good. So we're going to actually make full hand bows. So I did this by measuring these out to 25 inches. So these are going to go to the outside, just like this. And it's just going to go right now where the Merry Christmas ribbon is. 4, 5, and then I'm going to snip those pieces off. We'll fan these open.
Carrie asked if you'll be getting more candles in.
I will try. I will try to place another order with them. I can't guarantee, because they never tell you when they ship. So, like I said, the stuff that I ordered in July, or actually in May for the 4th of July, I just got for the 4th of July. So I got all my patriotic flags late. So I can't guarantee, and they won't tell me. Like if I try to reach out to them and say, hey, can you at least tell me, would I have these in time for Christmas? There's no guarantee, is the downside.
Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, she'll check. She said, yeah, I think they sold out already. I bought mine at the very beginning of the video, and then several people had them in their carts at that time, so.
Okay. 5. I won't be able to double check this weekend. I'll have to wait till Monday, and I'll try to see if I can actually call them and see how quickly they could expedite them. If there's a way to do an expedited order and a quicker shipping time. I'm just trimming my lengths of ribbon to match, because when you do hand-tied bows, it's not an exact science. So I'm not like measuring my loops. So this is what I'm doing. I'm adding these to the outside just with my green. So I have about 6-inch tails, and then I'm doing like a 2-inch loop, and then twist it, another 2-inch loop, twist it, and hopefully you get your tails that match.
Carol, yes, it's Hobby Lobby mesh.
Yes.
And gals, just bear with it. There's not much we can do about it. The broadcast interruptions, it keeps freezing for a couple seconds, and then it's coming back, so.
It's a Facebook.
Yep.
Facebook deal. Yeah, because I was watching my own video today and it was freezing, and at one point it completely just kicked me out and I had to go back and rewatch the video again. So we all deal with it. It's just a challenge I guess we live with. What do you guys think of doing the full bows on this? The little mini bows?
Yeah, okay, so everyone seems to have this freezing problem, not just us.
That's why I said usually I can tell when people start going through a series of broadcast interruptions everywhere. It's Facebook doing an update. Why they choose to do it right in the middle, nobody knows.
Kay said I love the mini bows. Donna said I like them.
Okay, that was our middle. So I have one more. That's right. I didn't. So the sage green came from Hobby Lobby. It's in their fall section. I love this like mossy green. So just measure it out to 25 inches. And then I'll do a quick dovetail on both ends, which is just bringing the wired edges together. And then we cut from the fold to the center, and I did them both at the same time. So this is a time saver. And then we'll go ahead and make our bow.
Sound effects included?
Yeah. Thank God, that's all it is, right? Just sound effects.
Yeah, Terry said I like the full bows. David said I like the mini bows. And Lynn said the mini bows go along with their old-fashioned rustic look.
I'm trying to keep it as rustic looking as possible. So when I think rustic, I think muted colors. I think simplicity. So let's take those. Let's go ahead and make our bow, and then we'll do the outside and inside 6 once we finish. So I'm going to move this over. There we go. And we're going to grab our bow dabber. And then we're going to go ahead and keep my pins so I don't step on them. So we're going to do our Merry Christmas and our burgundy. we're gonna bring in the same burgundy that we used the last time, along with our burgundy and tan, and the sage, as well as the pine. So we will pop all of those in our bow, and I'm gonna start with the, should I do the burgundy down? We'll start with the burgundy at the bottom, because this one, it's got some tensile strength to it, but not enough, and this one has a lot.
Plus you'll have to keep the lettering all the same.
Yes. So, yes, thank you, Steve. Lettering has to all be the same direction. So, dovetail again, wired edges together. You're gonna cut from the fold to the point. And we're gonna do the standard formula for my bows. So using the bow dabra, I'm gonna go 10 inches. And we're twisting. And this doesn't have a right or wrong side fabric. So we're gonna do 5.5 inches on our loops. So I just always bring this back to my 10. And then I can measure out, what did 5.5 look like? That's like 5 3/4. There we go.
Since the bow's on the bottom, I guess they could opt to do like longer tails if they wanted to as well, right?
You could, yeah, you most definitely could. I'm gonna keep them kind of contained. Because when you go to showcase that in photos, it's really hard to put like 2 foot long tails plus a 24-inch wreath. It just doesn't show up well on Etsy's page. Okay. So something has to get cut off somewhere for photos. Because they don't let you put rectangular photos on there. Okay. Just leave that open. So we have that dilemma where we need to keep the script all going in the same direction. So even though the bow dabra is going to hold it, it's not going to be how we form it. So I'm going to show you really quick, because there's some people who cut their tails and then they just make their loops, and that's the easy way to do it. So here's the way to do it without cutting your ribbon. Is I have it facing my direction to where it's up. So I know my tails need to be at 9.5 inches. So normally we would pinch, right? And then we would twist. If we twist, by the time we bring this up and over, our Merry Christmas is upside down compared to the way that it is here. So here's how you fix it. Don't twist it. So just measure out. If you're gonna use, I'm doing 5-inch loops, you're gonna measure from your pinch out to 10 inches, because that's 5 inches one way, 5 inches the other, and you're just going to simply bring your loop around. And what that does is it leaves your Merry Christmas and your Merry Christmas, it's all going in the same direction. So from here, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna measure out 10 inches. You're going to pinch it here, and you're going to bring it around, and it kind of goes a little bit on top of the other one. And what that does, again, thanks. More sound effects, right? Here's our loop, and then we're going to go ahead and do our tail at 9.5. And then see right now the word, the loops. Everything is exactly the same. And so what we're gonna do is take this, put the whole thing in the bow dabra, and let it hold it until we're ready to fluff. Because then we can move our tails around whichever way we need to. But that's how you keep it all in the same direction. So we're gonna add our pop of sage. So we're gonna go, these are gonna be 9-inch tails with a 4.5-inch loop. And this will introduce the green back in, even though we have green in our mesh. I think it has to be, doesn't always have to be predominantly green, but in this case I wanted it green. 4.5, 4.5, right there, and then 9.
Yeah, wherever you gals can find candles like that, then go find them. She said, I don't know if you're for sure, but there's a store in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, called Salem Creek that carried candles like Kat used. It might be worth it. Some of the ladies want to call them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like anything that sells like a rustic, primitive thing, I'd have to check Shinoda. I'd have to physically drive down there because sometimes what they have in their store they don't list on their website. So I don't want to miss out on an opportunity. If they have it, that saves me on shipping.
Awesome. Becky said, I got my Bodabra yesterday. I can't wait to use it.
You're going to love it. There's so many uses for it. So this one is going to be at 8.5 inches and our loops are going to be the exact same. So because we've measured one, you can put your fingers through the loops just to get an idea of where 4.5 inches is. Pull the loops again. Oops. And then we will take this out to 8.5. So I'm always making sure I dovetail. So if you get into a habit of this is the way you make your bows, you know, you're dovetailing them as you go, it won't change when, you know, you're doing any type of design because this is the way you build your bows. Okay, those are done, and these came from Joann's. The green came from Hobby Lobby. I already said the primitive word one came from Country House Collection. And that was last year. I don't know if they have it anymore because it was a clearance item. And then the gingham you can find at Craft Outlet and the Wreath Shop. This just happened to come from Shinoda, which is our design center here. So we're going to go ahead and use our burgundy with the stitch. This came from Joann's last year. And this is going to be 8-inch tail with a 4-inch loop. And this one does not have an awful lot of stability in the ribbon. It's very soft, so it doesn't have a really big wire through it. It still like lays well, especially when you have other ribbon underneath it to help give it some more support. And then this goes to 8. What's he doing?
Being Betty.
Wandering.
I should have jump up.
If I don't look at him, maybe if I don't acknowledge him, he'll just leave. Like, oh, I don't warrant your attention. He left. So I saw him out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, he's leaving. Okay, last one. And then this is going to be 7.5-inch tail with a 3.5-inch loop. And just when I do my bows, I like to make sure that something pretty and patterned is on the outside because it's the first place you look. It's the first thing you see. So we'll do this. Bring it in. And then out to 7.5. And then we'll fluff our bow. Then we'll put it on. Well, we can't really put it on. We got to put the picks on first. Okay, pipe cleaner. Look, my glue is just oozing all over. Have you guys noticed that the SureBonder dual temperature glues just kind of constantly keep oozing glue out? I've been really unhappy with mine. It just has a continual flow, and the trigger's not depressed. So here's how you're going to go ahead and secure it. Kind of just do like that Spock Vulcan thing. You're going to hold it like this in between your hands, so that way you can get it right in between while you're holding everything compressed, and then you're just going to twist. 4, 6, 5. Okay, let's stick all these over here so they won't roll. This is all done. Let's fluff. I'm going to put it the correct way. And here's another pin. There we go. So my cutting board, fluff box, it's an 18 by 24 inch cutting board. I got it at Bed Bath & Beyond. To save yourself some money, go to Lowe's or Home Depot. They sell the 1 inch thick 24 by 24 inch wood already cut. That's all you need. Come back, put a C hook, like a C hook in it. And if you want to use it for the bow dabra, you can go ahead and add the little nail.
Pro bow.
Pro bow. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take that hook and you're going to grab your pipe cleaner right in here. So I'm going to kind of do it this way, and I'll flip it so you can see it's just secured through my pipe cleaner so that my bow doesn't move. So that allows me to fluff it. And then we're going to pull our pipe cleaners out to the side. We're going to do loop and then tail.
The man said yes, and the trigger doesn't always work. Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck? I went back to Hobby Lobby to try to find my $5 glue gun. They don't carry them anymore. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, on the opposite side, you're going to do the tail and the loops so that your tails and loops are like complete X's across from each other. And then you're going to go to the next one. And I'm just going to pull this apart. So, we're going to go tail here, or loop here, sorry. And then our tail here. Go back to the other side, and we're going to pull the tail to this side and the loop to this side. And what it does is you've basically got two tails, two loops, two tails if my pipe cleaners weren't in the way, and then two loops. But for the logistic part, all we're going to do right now is just separate the ribbon. So we go one side and then opposite on the other. Go back to following your pattern. Here we go, back here. We're going to follow green. And we're going to go back here. And then we have our gingham, which I'm trying to make sure I'm on the right side. Here. And then here. And then, once you have everything all separated, you know, if you need to make any adjustments, like sometimes I can tell just by looking the loops are kind of a little off. You can go ahead and pull and make them even. And then go ahead and start separating them so that you don't have like a ribbon right next to like the gingham. Loops are separate. You know, your tails are all separate here.
Sharon, I think so. I think Sharon asked, did the ribbon with the lettering in it get dovetailed? It looks like it did.
Yeah. Oh, this one didn't.
Good catch, Sharon.
Good catch. I was like, what? Yeah, no, I didn't catch that one. So that's that one that I kind of did where I was
at the end
trying to hold it all in my hand. Like I had that hand held and then I was like trying to cut it, and no, I didn't dovetail that one. But thank you for catching that. Awesome catch. Okay, so let me kind of fan this out a little bit for you and hold it up. There's our bow. So our bow's all ready for the wreath. And then we'll just take this one off. I don't need to worry about where loops are because this is going to be at the bottom. Okay, now knowing you always got to keep that candle position in mind. So I do have two on the top. Those ones are fine. We need to take our picks and get everything fluffed. So for packaging in that little plastic envelope, we need to, I hate the ribbon that they used in here. So I will take this out. I'm not a big fan of that. So we'll put our pine cones, our bells. You get a big bell, little bell. You get some tan and red berries, a metal star, and then we need to separate all the pine all the way through. Because that would just look weird to just throw it in there and leave it like that. So move this up. We'll straighten out all our pip berries. And we won't fluff that the rest of the way until it's on the wreath. But you want to make sure that, you know, you fanned it out pretty good. Let's make sure we have 2 of these on that side. Put 2 in the middle, to the outside, and then our bell. And then we have a bell on one side and a bell on the other. Just
okay,
like
yeah,
that.
we'll show the candle when we get to that step, so we will.
So this has to go in at a weird angle because we're going to use the whole pick.
You have to cut some off the front. You have to cut some off of the long piece.
Yes, I will. But I need to open my pipe cleaner because I'm actually going to wire this in to my pipe cleaner, that whole giant stem, just like this. And then I'm going to cut that big giant end off, which means I need to use the bigger cutters to take that off. Just like that. So that is in the trash. And we will add bows to that, or our bow will be in there. So now we have to kind of crisscross these so that they kind of meet, but not, they're kind of spread out because your bow's going to still be right in the center. So take tags off, take that raggedy bow that really doesn't do anything.
Use your other cutters.
Now I just have to cut through the ribbon because it goes around the bells. So we'll fluff this one out the same way. Put one. Put our star in the center. Make sure everything is evenly spaced. So our bells are going to go. One here, one there. 1, 2, 3. It's easier to fluff your picks while they're in your hand than while they're on your wreath. And then these are going to crisscross the opposite direction. And the way that I'm securing these is you would think that just because I'm sticking them through, so say for example, here's my pick, right? It's going on my pipe cleaner and I'm twisting. So you would think that, well, that could just pull right out. The fact that I have the bell in there, the bell's wired on, I actually put the pipe cleaner on the bell side. So I'm wiring it down so the bell prevents it from sliding actually forward. And I'll flip that around so you can see. Move this one. 3. So, we've got to cut the giant stick off. Giant stick is gone. Don't use that.
Cass, where did you find those cute rustic picks?
Country House Collection.
Country House Collection.
Same place where we got the candles, right? Okay, so let me show you. Move that. So this is what I'm saying. So this is wired on this side of the bow so that my pick can't go anywhere. I will come back in and actually add additional glue just to make sure that they don't go anywhere, but they're wired in with the pipe cleaners, so they're not going anywhere. And then we're going to take our bow and we're going to add our bow to the bottom. But we need to make sure, this is where your pipe cleaners are key in making sure we don't want too much covering our candle. There we go. That's right where my candle is. So now I'm going to take this and go right to the frame. So because
towards
there's...
the bottom though, right?
Huh?
Towards the bottom?
Kind of to the middle. But trying to get it through 6 layers of Deco mesh. Okay. Let me see. I can see the frame, but then your pipe cleaner bends, and then you're like trying to push it through, going, why won't it go through? Because it's bent. And I want to make sure I hit the crossbar. And the one thread. The one thread. Always one thread. Okay. So now it's on there. So now we can bring everything down. The longer tails I bring down to the bottom because I don't want them to be in the way of the picks. But we want all the ribbon. Let's bring this over. Let's separate these. I always like trying to keep that center going, because it looks so awful if you center your bow and then you put your candle in and your candle's over here. Okay. So, let me show you what we have at the bottom. Let me open up all my loops and all my ribbons. Try to do it this way. Is that pan down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
So here is, I'm just going to hold the candle. This is where it's going to go. Is that center from where you're at?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yep.
So now we're going to finish embellishing the outside here. So on those places where we had the red, just the red, I'm going to go ahead and remove the pipe cleaners. Let's see. And then this is where we'll add some pine cones with some picks and pipberries, and bring this around the outside. Okay. And then we still have to do the inside, which I already have a plan for it. I just figured I'd do the outside first.
Can't be so beautiful.
This is where I wish I had a black door, because if we had a black door, then when we turn the candle on, you would actually see the candle. Can you, Steve, in the craft closet, grab a big piece of the felt, black felt? That way I can put it on the inside so you can actually see the candle lit. It's just hard to kind of show that during the day. Okay. Alright. So you guys know my Pinecone favorites from Hobby Lobby. I have 4 bows. So I'm going to look for the 4 nicest pine cones in here. Hopefully they're roughly, they're kind of roughly the same size. So we're going to go ahead and glue skillet those with Gorilla Glue right in to the center of our the burgundy colored bows.
Oh, is that big enough?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just going to kind of put it right behind so that it kind of backlights that a little bit. Let's do this one. This is going to go right in here.
Joe said, I've only been able to catch a few minutes here and there. This is absolutely beautiful. Love your videos.
Thank you.
And then Carol Walker said, it is so amazing. I love this look. I'm all about farmhouse decor. You're always awesome.
Thank you. I just like this look. I think, I don't know when we deviated a little bit from traditional, and I don't think we deviated a whole lot. We just like adding a lot of rustic elements like pine cones and a lot of the country ribbon, pit berries. Steve's dad, when he was still alive, made a lot of like wooden little butterflies. So we've kind of incorporated that into our Christmas tree this year. So we're kind of doing a little bit more of a rustic look, like a natural country, older look. And now I'm taking the leftover picks that we've had in the last couple of videos, and I'm going to pull all these out because I need the pine. And we have some pine cones. You can tell my cutters, I've had my cutters for 3 years and they're starting to dull. And we'll take the berries. Use these ones. They just work so much better. And we'll even take the little pine cone. And then we're going to add these to either side. I'm going to try to show you how to do this. So, thanks. So from here, I'm going to dip this into my glue skillet, and I'm going to, once I get my pine cone off my Deco mesh, go from this side, and I'm just going to go right in next to my ribbon, right alongside into the Deco mesh.
Like a A shape, right?
Yeah, like an A shape. Exactly.
On either side of the
pine cone.
pine cone.
Yeah. So we kind of have that look right now. So I'm going to go around and do that on the other 4 really quick. These, move them over. Okay. Back under. And now I need some more. There's that one. Need 1, 2, 3, 4. So even when I'm out buying picks, I look at how many pieces can I break that down into if I don't use it as it is. So in that case, you can get quite a few picks out of that one big branch. You guys saw when we did the country one, we pulled all the pip berries out. There we go. What questions do you guys have that I can answer, if any? pull some berries into this. They're so quiet.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just me and you.
I think they've all settled down after all the glitching and broadcast interruptions have kind of quieted down. For some knocking on wood. My forehead.
Your forehead. I don't have a wooden forehead. So we're just adding those little pieces of the pick. We're coming in and we're just taking the berries, breaking the berries down and adding the berries, which are kind of like a cranberry and a tan color. This one's all out. And I have some on this one. This is why it pays to save all of your picks. Now that one won't cut that. That will. So we're going to take the star off of this one. Recycle. What's on?
Shows a cat. I love that. I go out and bought a lot of that mesh.
I can't wait to see it. Are you going to make one like it? This will be gorgeous. People will be blown away. They'll be like, how'd you get the candle to stay in there? That's usually the question we always get asked. How'd you get the candle to stay?
Magic.
Secret. Shh. Secret, secret.
You just have to go back in and cut the inside pieces, right? Get pipe cleaners off.
Well, I'm going to put some ribbons in there. Yeah. But I'm just finishing the outside berries. Adding the last little touches to that. That one's tapped out. I need more berries. I'm like, yeah, 3 berries shy. So I'm using the bigger ones. Just because they'll stand out a little bit better against the Deco mesh.
The hand said, maybe Santa will bring you new wire cutters for Christmas. Hint, hint.
I was waiting for that. I was like, yeah. Yeah, some really high-end wire cutters. Are you kidding? I just use what you guys find. I think mine came, look, they're pink candles. I think they came from Hobby Lobby's floral department.
Yeah, but then I bought you even the thicker ones from Lowe's.
Those?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the ones that will cut that whole big stem down for me.
Carol said you got the Pinecones at Hobby Lobby. Where did you find them?
In the fall section. So, go, they're in a bag hanging on the wall. So wherever they probably have like the little velvet pumpkins, you'll probably find the Pinecones there. So those are the best place. Or when did I find mine? Mine were on the end cap. One of the end caps. Okay. Go. One more. Isn't it pretty sad when you have to go into a brand new pick just to pull berries off?
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, because this one, for whatever reason, didn't have, it only had one set. You're supposed to have like 3 of these in there. Okay. Remember what I told you before, if you're working with the berries and you're gluing them, let the glue dry. And then, if they're really good berries, they're going to have metal all the way to the outside. So, then you can pose them or bend them in whatever direction you want. It's also great for the customer because they can do the same thing. So on the inside here, we are going to add some gingham, 25 inch. So we're just going to make little hand bows for this. So same thing, 6 6-inch tail. It's like a 2 or 3-inch loop. Wow, Kat, that one's a really ugly bow. Okay, let's start that one over. Twist, flip. Why is it that this one's looking way too big? There we go. Flip. Sometimes you just have to get in the groove. So we're going to take these and add these to the inside so that we have like a nice little red, white, or red, tan, and green little holiday bow. Let us go up and over. Just like so. I'm going to do the same here. So one. I start with the bows a little shorter because you want to have a somewhat long tail, but at least they match. You could alternate this. You could do the green.
You have the tails facing the inside?
I'll fan them.
Okay.
Give me a second. I just got to put them all in there and snip them, and then I can that's the thing with hand bows. Yep. We might even cut the tails down. They're just going to fan to the outsides, like these. There we go. When in doubt, just make bigger loops. Go here. One.
Almost done.
Yeah. 2, 3. You can have them fan to the inside, fan to the outside, fan whichever direction you want, because you can just twist them. Mine is just get them in there, and then you gotta do all your fluffing. So I'm always looking at, okay, where's the candle? Kind of wanted them fanning the outside like this. So get that one to kind of loop in there. Like I wanted them to circle the middle, if that makes sense. Okay, get one more. I have to cut one more because the center one is occupied by the bow. So quiet.
Any questions? Well, this has been a little bit of a longer video.
How long has it been?
You're at an hour and a half.
Okay, I'm gonna speed it up. Last one. So I have one more piece. This is where I wasn't sure. I know I needed to do something to the inside.
But good things are worth waiting for.
They are. I think had we not stopped, every time we thought there was a broadcast interruption, I didn't want to go forward.
Yeah.
In the event, thinking I'm going to have to go back and redo that. Recap that. I didn't want to lose the viewers. Okay, we're going to do I might even do these to the outside now that I'm thinking about it. So they fan to the outside and the bows stay to the inside. Let's try that. Let's try this. Which all it means is, yeah, we just pull the tails to the other side. I think that'll be better. It looks better.
Once she does that, then you're pretty much done, right? You're gonna set
I gotta add the candle.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Under. In, out. Under. Trying to get this one. Move that one in. This one's fighting me now. Because it doesn't want to lay flat.
Any questions, gals?
To the outside. Oop, one more. Sorry. Right here. And then we'll be done. Woo! And it was funny because I did this exact design in my private group August of 2019. So when I saw the original design, I was like, we've elevated our bows since then. The whole design part, we need to change it up and improve it, make it look nicer, more sophisticated. So, okay, last one right here. And now that I know which direction it's going, okay. Let's take this one down. It's a little too long. There we go.
Any other questions, gals, before she finishes up?
So, yeah, we'll finish fluffing our bow back, and then we'll let us maneuver our pit berries so they kind of fan.
And this will be in your Etsy shop, right?
It already is. Yeah, it just has the Facebook Live on it. There we go. Okay. Fan these ones out to the side. Let's add a metal bell right to the center. Just because I have one on here somewhere. There we go. Because we did it on the other one. Even though it's got the two metal bells at the bottom. Let's add this one. Just because I don't trust the glue gun anymore. We'll add that right to the center. Okay, let's move all this stuff out. so we can add our candle. So the battery's already included. Over. Okay, we have our piece. Always make sure your candle works. All right, go ahead and attach that. And you were like, attach it into the thing, right?
I think you could glue it in there, yeah.
Let's try that. Let me do this. I'm just gonna use this on the inside.
Yeah, let that sit for a second.
Yeah. Well, we can hang it.
Yep.
And then it will sit. Okay. Alright. You guys ready? More sound effects. Here's the design. Like I said, you can position the bows around the inside any way you'd like. And our candle's right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on. There we go. So if I take this, I think you guys will still be able to see it, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's it. So that is our Christmas candle wreath. And so when the customer wants to take it out, they just pull it out. You can turn it off, turn it back on, and it just sits in its little candle holder. But there you go. That is this year's 2020 Country Christmas candle wreath. So what do you guys think? We made it all the way through without loud house interruptions.
Yeah.
Which is a huge, amazing feat in and of itself. So lots of bows, lots of ribbon.
They're all saying very pretty, stunning, wow, gorgeous, love it, fantastic.
Nice. And then, like I said, you can come in
You tip it to the right a little bit.
to the right.
Yeah, there you go.
Hold on. It's not on the. There
Oh,
you go.
yeah, there you go. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you can just position all your pip berries where they need to go. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the primitive, rustic, country, Christmas candle video. And there you go. Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys for sticking it out with me all the way to the end. Hopefully you guys thought it was worth it. I don't know what we're going to be making next Friday. I'm going to try to put an additional day in for the public group. I just haven't decided on which day. So keep an eye out for that announcement so that it's not just Friday only. That we try to do like maybe a Friday and some other day. And we'll figure it out as we go along. Private group, I will see you on Sunday. I don't know what we're making yet. But I will talk to all of you then. Have a great weekend. And good night, everybody. Bye-bye.